Hello, I'm here with Colin, and he is the gecko keeper while we have Geckos Tails to Toepads here at COSI, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how he takes care of the geckos.
All right, so here, this is the important part. This is the daily job, cleaning the exhibit. This is what needs to get done every single day by the time the museum opens, so it's nice and presentable to the public. So the biggest thing about cleaning, obviously, is going to be removing any waste. These guys, they do eat a couple times a week, so we do have to clean up after them a few times a week as well. And so I have my cleaning cart back there. It's got all the cleaning supplies I need. I've got things like tongs and paper towels to help wipe up glass and clean up any feces that may get into the cage. I've got nets to scoop anything up out of the water. But probably the biggest part of daily exhibit maintenance is plant care. You can see each one of these exhibits has a really vast variety of plant life in it, and all of that does need to be maintained daily, from the moss and algae all the way up to some of our flowering bromeliads and orchids. So it is really actually very labor intensive, and they probably take the most care as far as time goes, much more than the animals themselves. And so what I'm going to do now is I'll be watering each one of my plants. I'll be inspecting them, see how they look. So I'll come around to this other side.
There's a little guy in there.
And so I have my nice little watering can here that should help me keep my moss nice and wet, helps me water some of these plants.
How often do you clean the cages?
This gets done every single day. So
oh, wow.
I'm here bright and early, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, cleaning each exhibit, taking care of the plants, and feeding the geckos as well. So that's a 7-day-a-week job.
Wow.
And while I'm in here sometimes, I'll give them a little spritz of water just to give them something to drink. A lot of our exhibits have built-in hydration systems, but just in case these guys aren't around whenever the sprinklers go off, I can give them a little bit of water. And the neat thing about geckos, of course, since they don't have eyelids, they have the ability to lick their eyeballs, and so that's how a lot of them actually drink. They'll get a little bit of dew or mist on their faces and then use their tongue to just scoop it right up off of their skin.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
This is our Madagascar leaf-tailed gecko exhibit. So we have two different species of leaf-tailed geckos, both from the island of Madagascar. The bigger species in here, which is this guy right here, is the giant leaf-tailed gecko. Really no mystery where they get their name. They're quite sizable. And these guys are really well adapted to living in kind of rocky outcroppings along trees, so areas where there would be a lot of moss or lichen growing, so you can see that really incredible skin pattern. The second species we have in here is the lined leaf-tailed gecko, and that's this little guy right here. And again, really no mystery where they get their name. Those really nice patterned striations running right down their back. And he is showing off his ideal habitat, which is bamboo forest. And so if he's laying on a piece of bamboo with those stripes going right down his body, it really tends to help match the grain of that bamboo. Really effective camouflage for these guys.
That's cool, so you can have different species of geckos living in the same habitat?
Yeah, actually, it's really not too difficult to maintain multiple species in a habitat, particularly if they live in the same habitat in the wild. So, for instance, these guys, they tend to share a very similar climate. And really so long as one species doesn't eat the other species in the wild, there's really not very many issues with keeping them together.
Great, well thank you so much for telling us about how you take care of the geckos and a little bit more about them.